Welcome back to the news at 10. Women in Lagos State came together today under the auspices of the Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials for the 19th National Women Conference. Dignitaries from across the country deliberated on ways in which women can contribute to nation building. The community-based gender organization was established to complement the efforts of the Lagos State government in bringing development to the grassroots.
By
distinguished personalities all seated here for the 19th edition of the National Women Conference convened by the Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials. The theme of this year's edition is Unlearn, Learn and Relearn, the 21st Century Women's Themes, Perspectives and Approach. The wife of the Lagos State Governor highlights the significance of the conference.
As women, to continue to play important part as pillars of growth and development in our state and country, economically, politically, socially, and in all other matters that may concern us.
the Ogun State Governor there, Prince Dapo Abiodun.
For the Governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, as well as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, women are critical partners in nation building.
We must build on women's capacity to thrive in difficult environments, but most of all, we must empower women to help change the negative beliefs we have about each other and our country. This will be key to ensuring peace and harmony amongst diverse people.
Women are an integral part of the successes of the nation. And I want us to take that away from this place.
Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu.
Then the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, takes to the stage to share his perspective on the subject.
The goal of the conference is to impart knowledge to all the participants, knowledge that will enable them contribute more effectively to the collective goal of building and delivering the Lagos we all deserve.
Mrs. Oludolapo Oshibajo.
The message from the First Lady of Nigeria, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, is delivered by Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, wife of the Vice President.
One of the key tenets of Council is the issue of restoration of values. I wish to call on all members to use the opportunity of this event to share ideas about ensuring that our children grow up morally upright, patriotic, and with a sense of responsibility. We have a duty to raise better Nigerians.
I hereby declare the conference open.
For the next few days, various speakers are expected to make contributions to the conversations here on ways to advance the cause of women.
Pastor Mrs. Alicia Rosemary Ide, and indeed.
Nigeria Breweries PLC has held the 5th edition of the Maltina Teacher of the Year, a competition organized to identify, honor and reward outstanding teachers in Nigeria. This year, an online version of the challenge was introduced to make the competition wide-ranging and fun.
Government officials, stakeholders in the education sector, members of the Nigerian Breweries PLC and teachers from across the 36 states gathered to celebrate quality teachers and education at the grand finale of the 2019 Maltina Teacher of the Year.
Dear Nigerian teachers, I salute you for your exceptional efforts. I want to congratulate the winners that will stand up today to receive the trophies, but also everybody else.
The Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, commends the Nigerian Breweries PLC for achievements in the sector.
The company, through its Nigerian Breweries Felix Ohiweri Education Trust Fund, has constructed and furnished over 400 classrooms and 35 libraries in over 74 communities across our country.
As a twist to this year's event, an online version was introduced, #ThatOneTeacher. This was aimed at achieving an all-inclusive participation from anyone who has ever experienced the gift of a teacher. For the online version, 10 teachers were awarded prizes, with the first receiving 500,000 naira and a spa treatment. The Corporate Affairs Director, Nigerian Breweries, tells the 2019 Maltina Teacher of the Year journey.
Multi-step evaluation of entries produced an impressive list of 23 state champions who are our first set of winners. From these state champions, the top 10 candidates then underwent further assessment by the panel of judges to select the 2019 Maltina Teacher of the Year.
The state winners were then presented their prizes. Then the big moment. Who is the Teacher of the Year?
I knew it! I knew it!
This award will be a great inspiration for teachers. I will try my best to ensure that I encourage and train more teachers and finally give fulfillment and money in the future.
Izim Chizuroke of Royal Family Academy goes home with 6.5 million naira, a capacity development training, and a block of 6 classrooms for the school.
And from there, we move on to business news. Here's Anne Waudu.
You first. First Bank.
Thank you, Ijoma. Good evening and welcome to Business News. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies plan to discuss deeper cuts of crude supply at their next meeting in December. And this is coming amid concerns of weak demand growth in 2020 after OPEC's latest monthly oil market report expecting global demand for its crude to drop by 1.2 million barrels from 2019 to an average of 29.6 million barrels per day. Now, since January this year, OPEC has implemented a deal to cut oil output by 1.2 million barrels per day to support the market. The pact runs to March 2020, and the producers are meeting to review the policy on December the 5th to the 6th. Meanwhile, sources say the cartel's Joint Technical Committee, which monitors compliance with the pact, could start considering scenarios for cuts next month and make its recommendations to the OPEC Plus meeting for debate in December. INLAX, an information technology and systems integrator, has held its maiden edition of Digital Summit right here in Lagos. With a theme, Unlocking the Opportunities in the Digital Banking Age, the INLAX Managing Director, Africa Operations, Mr. Femi Adeoti, says the company is positioned to help financial institutions embrace digital solutions for their services. Digital innovation and technology have consistently disrupted the way financial transactions are carried out. The speed of change and its implication underlines this summit of fintechs, bank regulators, experts and more, put together by INLAX, Nigeria's foremost systems integrator.
We have carefully selected industry experts to talk and discuss a whole lot around what we should expect in a new digital banking age in Nigeria and across Africa.
The helmsman at INLAX lays it bare on what banks are up against.
Banks, therefore, need to adapt, and they need to have a concrete digital strategy to prepare them for the future that is coming. Banks, therefore, must have a team that will adopt new solutions required to plug the gaps wherever they appear.
Yes, change is coming. Change is here, but it must be approached with caution.
Whatever we're doing, please remember it is about people, not about technology. You have less than 40 million people who are banked in a population of 200 million. The majority are not holding iPads, smartphones, or anything digital. Let's bear that in mind.
First Bank is proud to have partnered with INLAX in deploying technology to financial services, and they have the results.
Do you see that screen there? You touched it and you put in all your details. It will validate it. You put in money here, it counts it. It pays it in. What the machine also does for you, that it sorts the money.
The summit had more than 24 speakers and 6 panel sessions, and the conversation is producing consensus.
We are recognizing the emerging trend, and we want to bring the emerging trend into the wider scope of the regulator. And that is what we are trying to do. We are not neglecting.
The high point of the event is the recognition awards presentation and launch of several machines to aid financial transactions like the Money Save 500, among other fintech solutions by Inlax.
Now let's head to the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The downward trend continued at the local bourse today after sell pressure hit the NSE's top two most capitalized stocks amid an increased surprise in total volume turnover of shares. Let's hear more from Edidiong Iwang.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Trading on the shares of Zenith Bank accounted for over 50% of total market turnover and about 90% of total value traded on Tuesday at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Turnover of shares traded were higher at 694 million shares, out of which 357.22 million were of Zenith Bank. The total Naira value of all shares traded amounted to 7.82 billion Naira in 2,780 deals. Well, at the close of trade, the main share index continued the downward trend to end the day negative by 0.09%, with the equity cap lower at 12.834 trillion Naira. Now, looking at the sector chart, only two of the counters we track closed the day negative. Banking and industrial goods were positive, while oil and gas remained unchanged. Courtsville was the highest gainer for the day by 10%, while Eterna PLC lost the most by 9.52%. Well, that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Edidiong Iwang.
Thanks a lot, Edidiong. Meanwhile, U.S. stock markets have closed over an hour ago negative across board following disappointing earnings from McDonald's, Procter & Gamble, and some tech shares on the bourse. But let's see the closing figures for other major markets around the world. And that's business news for tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Nwawado. The rest of the news at 10 continues now with Ijoma.
You First. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Anne. Still ahead on the news at 10, UK members of Parliament reject government's Brexit bill timetable proposal as Prime Minister Boris Johnson threatens to call for general elections. And we'll have more coming from our London bureau in Around the World in 5. Please stay with us.